Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Go back to the phone lines or go to the phone lines and welcome in our good friend Will Herring. And Will, former Auburn Tiger, broadcast personality now with a radio team. Will, it's always good to hear from you, brother.
What's up, guys? War Eagle, thank y'all for having me on.
Hey, man, we'll dive right in. Time's precious for all of us here, especially on this show. And Super Bowl, get your take, Will. You were in the NFL for a while after you left Auburn, and, a great Super Bowl. I think all of us just pull for a good game that don't really have a dog in the fight, and, boy, we got a good one on Sunday.
We did, for everybody that grew up in college football country, which is where I grew up here in Opelika. When I got to the NFL, I didn't realize just how big it was. And playoff football is special. I was blessed. I got to play in 4 different playoffs during my 8 years, and that playoff football is special. I never made it to the Super Bowl. I feel like the Super Bowl has almost become more about the party and everything except football. But we have seen a lot of the Super Bowls not live up to the hype, but it was a good game. And I didn't really have a dog in the fight. My heart was pulling for the underdog in San Fran. Purdy's a class act. I love Mahomes and respect him as a quarterback, so I was happy either way, but great game.
Well, it was a defensive game, and you played all over the field, so I'm interested to hear from you. 2 weeks off, getting prepared for the Super Bowl. How much does 2 weeks help someone, especially back in the secondary and linebacker positions, to get prepared for a game like that?
Well, you've definitely got plenty of time, with the magnitude of the Super Bowl, the distractions and being pulled all over the place. I would imagine there's just a lot of distractions in the team that can focus on keeping business. It's going to pay dividends. In college, we see a lot of times you don't know what team's going to show up for the bowl game, and you're not talking about 18, 19, 20-year-olds, but you do got a handful of 20, 21, and 20 to 23-year-olds on a lot of these rosters, and so you just hope that they can keep the main thing.
Will, I want to talk about quarterback. That's what we really just talked about. That won the Super Bowl. You got the best in the world right now, and Patrick Mahomes that just got it done again. And boy, you can't put a value on a great quarterback in any level. It doesn't matter, all the way down from Little League, where you just give it to him and then let him run around and make plays, all the way up to the NFL doing the same thing like a Patrick Mahomes. But kind of shift over to talk about Auburn's quarterback position. It seems like we've been a broken record on this show for the last 4 or 5 years, finding the right guy to kind of lead. You just feel like you're one really good quarterback away from being an elite team. And, you hate to put that much pressure on one position, but it's the truth. And Auburn goes into spring with the same quarterback room, save Robbie Ashford. And Randy and I just talked about it, Will, depending on Walker White's performance and Peyton Thorne coming back and what Hank Brown did that we saw in the latter part of that bowl game, how they performed during spring will determine whether Hugh Freeze tries to go get another guy to come into this quarterback room at the end of spring in the portal.
Yeah, you're right. There's not a position in sports that is more monumental to the success of a team than the quarterback position. We saw at times Peyton Thorne really make some progressions and come along, and he looked confident at times. And just when you were about to say, all right, this guy's ready to lead the team, he and the offense would sputter. So, I love the young man's grit and work ethic. I listened to the latter part of the bowl game when the young man, and I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Hank Brown.
Hank Brown came in and played well. I mean, you can't assume anything. You can't write a young man off. And I love that Hank Brown came in there and did some things. We've obviously got the young man from Arkansas coming over. You know, it's hard to expect a true freshman to come in and just make a tremendous impact early. So we'll see. You know, these coaches, they don't play favorites. They like good football players, and Coach Freeze likes good quarterbacks. So let's let them compete on the field this spring, and see who can get better, and hopefully we'll have a solid starter coming out of spring.
Will, those of us that never went through a college spring training, talk about that. I know that you have said previously that you felt like your first spring training is when you turned the most heads and coaches knew that you deserved to be out on the field. What's different between spring training and the setup there than regular season practice, and how easy is it for you to be seen if you're, you know, a great talent like you are?
Well, I appreciate the compliment. I don't consider myself as a great talent. I was surrounded by guys that were more talented and guys that were less talented, but thank you. You know, the spring, one thing I love about it is the reps. You know, guys, not just ones and twos, but the threes are going to get a few reps, the fours. And, I mean, like you said, going into my first spring, I was just buried in the depth chart. And it was very, very frustrating, very disheartening, but the opportunity came. And you don't have the pressure of the next game, or you don't have the pressure of, hey, that first game is 3 weeks away or 2 weeks away, or you know, it's, hey, no, this is a time to develop, but also a time to evaluate. And so there are more opportunities for guys to get the attention of their position coach and their coordinator, even if they're not cracking into the starting lineup, just getting in that rotation coming out of spring, so that when training camp rolls around, hey, you're one of the top two guys. You're going to have an opportunity to make some plays in some of these practices and scrimmages. So it's a tremendous opportunity.
Well, we're up against the end of the show, brother. Always good stuff from you. Glad to have you back on today. Appreciate you taking time out to join us on Tuesdays. And, again, kind of plug yourself and what you got going on.
Yeah, I work as a mortgage home loan specialist here in Auburn, licensed in Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee. So that and a full-time dad of four. And my wife and I got our hands full with them 4 youngins. But would be honored at the opportunity. I'm pretty easy to find on the internet. If anybody's in need of a mortgage, I'd love to help them out.
Well, we appreciate it, my man. Appreciate you and everything that you do for Auburn, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
All right, bud. War Eagle.
Thank you
sir.
so much. War Eagle. It's Will Herring. Man, great guy. Class act.
Great player. Handles himself well. Going to be a great broadcaster, too. I know he's just getting started, but he's got the personality to pull it off.
All the way around. So.